What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Like I said, we're in the garage again, and I pretty much got the firewall almost all done. I did go through last night without filming anything, and I did weld a couple more holes up, which was cool because I got this little brass fitting here, and then I had Brooke hold the brass fitting on the back side of the holes, and I just filled it in because the welds don't stick to brass, which I had a friend tell me this, and this little trick, and it freaking worked, so that's awesome. Also, I did put the dash back in, and I actually measured where my steering shaft would come out. So this is that hole for my steering shaft. I drilled the hole in my brake pedal as well for the new bolt that's going to hold the push rod to the master cylinder. I had that all measured out, and I drilled that. So that's done as well. So when the firewall is all done, all I got to do is bench bleed the master and put that on. But yeah, I got that all thing, and then I'll have a pass-through grommet here. I did open this hole up a little bit bigger, but I have a pass-through grommet for that as well. And today, I gotta smooth out those welds a little bit. I gotta bring the welder back out. I'm gonna tack this to the wall. I think when I welded this one and this one, that the firewall warped a little bit, and then this is just hanging out there. I can stick my finger in there. So I'm gonna tack this to the wall before I fiberglass it. But yeah, other than knocking those couple welds down, it's ready for fiberglass. So I actually went to the body shop, and I went and got some of this Everglass short strand body filler. So I'm gonna do all the rough spots with that. I'm gonna get those how I like it, and then I'm gonna come through with this 3M platinum glaze, and then I'm gonna get it all ready for sand, and then it'll be ready for some primer and some paint. But yeah, that's all said and done. Like I told you guys, my transmission's done, so I can go pick that up whenever I have the time to do that. We switched transmission pans on that. The pan I had was just a sheet metal pan, and the cork gasket always leaked and stuff like that. So we're switching pans to a nice aluminum cast big pan. It's a deep one, of course. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna get grinding on some of these, and I'm not gonna film it for you guys. You guys seen me do it all the other day, but I'm gonna grind some of this. When I'm done grinding it, I think I'm gonna knock some more paint out of here. I'm gonna tack that up, and I'll be doing body filler for the first time. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm nervous at the same time, but it can't be that bad. So we're gonna give it a whirl, and hope you guys stay tuned because it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna struggle, but that's the way of life. You gotta do it to learn it. So here we are, and I'm giving her a big old swing and hoping for a home run. I got those holes all ground down that I just welded. I tried smoothing them as much as I could and stuff. I mean, there's the tacks right here are kind of shitty, but I'll have that all covered up. Down here, that was a big old hole. I'm gonna fiberglass all this stuff. This is probably the only rust the truck has right here. So I'm gonna fill that in with fiberglass stuff, but I'm just gonna wipe it down right now, and then I'm gonna mix up some fiberglass, and I'm gonna give this stuff a big old whirl. So, never done it. Don't make fun of me if I'm doing it wrong. I'm learning, so I'm just gonna wing it. They said they gave me some instructions, so I'm just gonna do what they told me to do, and I guess we're gonna putty some stuff onto this truck, and hopefully it's not a complete disaster. As you can see, I struggled a lot with this stuff. It's hard to mix. It's hard to spread on. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But this is how it looks as of right now. So there's a couple things I still need to do. I want to do some more. I want to come in here and I'm going to smooth this out a little bit more with that stuff. But kind of got the edges. They told me that to let it dry and then I can go out and sand it down and come back and make my body filler look a lot better. I was using this yellow thing. This yellow thing just wasn't working out for me, so I just went straight to my metal putty knife and it seemed to be working a lot better. The stuff's just hard to spread on. It's just gives me arm pump, I guess. Us old dirt bikers get that arm pump up. But yeah, it's ugly, but hopefully all this ugliness will be beauty when it's all said and done. I'm going to take a little bit of a break and I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this little area up real nice and get it looking better. And then I think I'll have to let it dry for the day and then come back and I'm going to sand it all up, scuff it up, and then we'll go back in to do some body filler on it. I think I am now done with the fiberglass stuff. I'm gonna let it dry for a while. It says it's like dry in like 20 minutes at 70 degrees. I got my garage at 55, so I'm gonna give it like 5 hours to dry, if not maybe a little more, maybe come back tomorrow and do this. But this is how it's looking. It's not pretty by any means. I've never done this before, so don't give me hell. But I think I did a pretty decent job, so I'm not really complaining about that. I did put some blue tape here because this is where my throttle plate goes, so I don't want to mess that up. So I put that there hoping that I could just rip it off and all the putty that's on that will come off as well. But yeah, this is what it's looking like. It's ugly. I'm gonna need a lot of sanding to do. I might have to go get some finer, more abrasive grip sandpaper for my DA, but that's how it's looking. This is just the fiberglass. I have no body filler on it yet, so I'm gonna let it dry. I think I'm gonna sand it, and then I think what you're supposed to do is go back over it with some body filler. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let it dry, and we'll come back here in a little bit and figure this all out. I might have to run up to the parts store and get some like 80 grit sandpaper for my DA, but other than that, it's looking okay. Not bad for a guy that's never done it before. So like I said, I'm pretty proud of how this is looking. I'm taking a lot of time, and it's a little much for a race truck, but it's one of those things. I just wanted to learn to do some body work, so here it is, and I'm winging it. And I guess it's one of those things, like you say, you fake it till you make it. Well, I'm faking that I'm a body man until I make it. So I'm hoping it looks all good. Also, the ABS did mix me more paint. I'm going to spray paint the firewall again, the same orange. I was thinking about changing the color up, but the truck and my logos and stuff like that I've been using have had orange in them. So we're just going to keep it orange, make it look good. And then along with everything, when I'm done painting the firewall and everything, I'm going to come back through and I'm going to clean all this stuff up here. And I'm going to repaint all the frame here that's exposed, so we can get a shiny finish onto the frame as well, make it all look good, and then we'll slap it all back together. I'm out here again. I let it all dry. It dried up really, really well. And I just took my grinder with Tiger wheel on it, and I started going to town on it, and it was like actually like sanding up pretty good, and it wasn't so hard. And I got dust everywhere because I was just going to town. But I am currently in the process of getting the fiberglass smooth. Got a lot of work to do right on this guy here, but I'll get it smooth. It's looking not too bad. I do have to go to the hardware. Other than that, you know, this is not horrible. I mean, that was kind of a pain in the butt to spread that fiberglass stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the hardware store. I'm gonna get some sandpaper, and then we'll be back and grinding away on this thing. So this is how it looks right before I put some body filler in it. I got all the high spots figured out. I just took my tiger wheel to it on the grinder. It did a really good job. So now I'm gonna go over here and we'll mix some of this 3M putty, and we're gonna see how smooth old Logan can get this stuff. I got it puttied. It's not pretty, but I tell you, it's a lot better than what it used to be. And after I sand it all smooth, after it dries and everything like this, I think this is gonna be really nice looking. Just tape up the holes on the inside there and get it all primed and painted after I sand it all. I think this firewall is going to be awesome. And you know, it's been a long time coming, you know. Gotta make this thing safer because it's getting faster, and you know how it goes. You want things to look nice, and normally the S10 is pretty rough on the outside. It's got dents and scratches and stuff like that, but my engine bay looks really nice, and I want to keep it that way. So we're doing this to make sure it's safer for me, being no holes in the firewall, no fire's gonna get through the firewall, and just making it looking better. So I think my hard work and the help from a lot of people around me that know what they're doing, giving me advice, it's sure making this truck look 1,000 times better. So it's ugly right now, but I can see the picture of what it's gonna look like when it's done, and I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait. So I'm gonna wait for this stuff to dry. I just got done. I got sanding stuff all over my beard, and my hat's a different color, and yeah, so we're gonna let this stuff dry, and I'm gonna blow myself off with the air gun, and hopefully that when I come back, it's ready to be sanded, and I get this thing sanded up pretty nice. And I got some primer, so maybe I can lay some primer tomorrow. Brooke's car's in the shop, so it's kind of nice not having her car in the shop, so I don't have to worry about overspray on it and everything like that. So that's a plus there, but yeah, I'm making headway. It's about time for some primer and some paint, and then we can start slapping this thing back together. It's day 2 in the garage, and as you guys seen, the last time I was doing stuff, I was putting the putty on the firewall. Well, now the putty's all dry. I let it dry all night long, so I'm gonna come back. I've got some, I think it is 80 grit sandpaper. I'm gonna put on my DA. I'm gonna smooth everything out. Then I'm gonna come back with some 400 grit sandpaper and make sure I get all the big sanding groove cuts out and stuff like that. But it's not pretty. But like I said, I got some smoothing out to do. You know, I've never done this stuff before, so I'm kind of learning as I'm going. It's not bad. I think it's going to turn out pretty good after I get everything smoothed out. But yeah, it's going to be a progress. And I'm going to be getting really dirty with some sanding dust. So I don't enjoy this part, but I'm going to hammer on it and I'll let you guys know how it turns out. I got the firewall sanded, and I'm looking like Santa Claus over here. My red beard is now whitish gray. So this is how it's looking so far. I did hit it with 80 grit, and I'm gonna go back over it with 400 now. I think this is probably the best I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna get it ready for paint here, and maybe I can spray some primer onto it tomorrow. So this is what it's looking like. I'm getting it done. My garage is a mess. There's sanding dust on everything. Yeah, I don't like this stuff. I'm not fit to be a body man, so this stuff is time consuming and it's a headache, but I think in the end this thing's gonna look a lot better than what it ever has. So it's what we do. It's just a learning progress. So I gonna get back to it. I'm gonna go over it with some 400 and maybe get this thing ready for some primer. Maybe even shoot primer tonight. I don't know. Maybe. All right. Stay tuned. I'll have more coming. Well, I was getting some taping done on the holes that are on my firewall for my master cylinder, my steering shaft, so no paint would come into the cab. I noticed I had a chunk right here of fiberglass sticking through, and my stupid self decided to hit it with a hammer to take it off, and I put a hole into the firewall of where that was coming through. So I got right here and I just fiberglassed the back side, and on the front side I put a little dab of tape right there so the fiberglass wouldn't come through, and I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit, and then I'm gonna put some putty right where that is and then sand that back down and get it all ready for paint. Everything else is ready for paint. I just got to hit it with a tack cloth. And then I'm going to spray some primer on this thing probably today or tomorrow. So I'm getting excited. I got a couple more holes to tape up, but pretty much it's done pretty much besides paint. And then we'll get the motor done. I'll get the trans back here. We'll put it all back together, and then we'll put it in the truck. And I'll redo some fuel lines, and then this thing will be ready to rock for 2023. So I got high hopes for this year. I'm pretty excited. You know, this is a lifestyle that I live, and it just consumes me. Everything I think, breathe, is all about this S10 and street racing and no prep racing. So it makes me feel pretty good that, you know, I'm over here doing this stuff by myself, learning how to do things. You know, Jub helps me whenever he can, and a couple other people help me when they can, and it's just crazy to think that something like this I built with my hands with help of others. It's crazy, especially when you're doing 150 mile an hour through the traps. It's nuts. It's a tin can on wheels is what I call it. It's a beer can on wheels. That's what I call my S10. It's a tin trap, but for it to come this far in its life from what it was when I got it is insane. And I can't consume it with my head. But enough with the rambling. I'm gonna wait for this putty to dry up. I'm gonna put some more 3M putty on it. I'm gonna smooth it all flat, and then we'll probably be spraying some primer on it today. I got those couple spots all touched up again. That one hole that was created by the fiberglass. So I fixed all that stuff, and now I think I got it all cleaned up, and I think I'm gonna start to prime it and get this all primed and everything, see how it fits and looks, and then we'll go from there. I just sprayed the first coat of primer on it. I am gonna have to go back and hit some spots with the sander again. I got 3 more cans of primer I'm gonna do on it. So that was all one can. I just used the whole can down. It's rattle can. I'm just gonna rattle can the whole thing like I have before. But you can see like there's some sanding imperfections in here that I should have fixed the first time. But other than that, it's looking really good. And like right here, I got some sanding stuff to do. So maybe I can flatten it out, maybe I can't, but I'm gonna give it a good old whirl. I'm gonna sand it all up again after all this dries. Probably let it dry for a couple hours. But other than that, this is how it's looking. Gonna need a sand and paint. I just got done spraying the second coat of primer, and I think that will be good enough. It's not perfect by any means. I could still see some imperfections in the firewall, but hey, it's my first time doing it. It's not going for show quality. It's just to look a little bit cleaner than what it used to. So that's the second coat. Like I said, I do have a couple imperfections in it and stuff, but that's good enough for me, I guess. And you know, like all this right here is gonna be covered up by stuff, so you're not gonna see any of that anyways. But I think I'm done for priming everything. Next thing will be is some paint, and I think I'll probably have that painted tomorrow, hopefully. I got 4 cans of the same orange. It's called Mango Tango Orange. I got 4 cans of that. I think 1 can will do a whole coat. So I'm just gonna light spray everything and then hit it back a little bit thicker than that. I know that stuff's got some flake in it, so it likes to run a little bit from me using it in the past times. So I'm just gonna lay a nice thick, small, light tack coat, and then come back with my flashlight and make sure I'm getting all the holes, everything wet when I'm painting it. So I have 4 cans. I got enough cans to make it look decent, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. So I ain't gonna complain. It's a race truck, not a show car, so it's not gonna be perfect. And I guess it's not gonna be perfect for other people, but it's perfect for me. So yep, that's what it is. We'll be painting it next time you see us, and it'll be looking good. The primer is nice and dry, so we're gonna spray this with some Mango Tango and see how it looks. I know I'm gonna spray like a dust coat, a tack coat, and then I'm gonna come back and get it painted up real nice. This is the first coat. It's not so bad. I do got some dry spots in here I gotta get, but it's not looking half bad. I really like this color. For people who know me, I built a chopper for Donnie Smith Bike Show in Minneapolis, Minnesota in 2010, and I actually painted it this color, the Mango Tango Orange. So that's kind of when I fell in love with this color, but it's not looking bad. So I do got a couple more cans to do more coats, and it's gonna need it. As you can see, some spots there, but it's not bad for some rattle can. I think there's something in the Bondo right there, but it's all right. It's not bad for a race truck, but I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit, maybe overnight, and then I'll come back and do some more coats on it, and then we should be done. I gotta say, this thing looks really, really good. I got 2.5 coats on it. Half coat was the first tack coat, and then 2 solid coats on top of it. This thing looks really good. I'm gonna do 1 more coat, but I'm not gonna film that for you guys. I've bored you enough with everything I've done so far. I appreciate you guys for watching, but you know, like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to get my watch hours, trying to get monetized. So all your guys is watching, liking, subscribing helps me out in the long run. And I mean, for a hillbilly with a mullet and a big beard, this turned out really, really, really well, and I am proud of myself for it. So I hope you guys like it. And like I said, I gotta get the trans back. We're gonna get the motor back together. We got all this stuff going on, and this thing is just going to look so good when it's all said and done. All right, until next time, guys. Catch you later. Peace.